Hey everyone, welcome back to another interview. Now, I'm sorry you can't see my face. Something wrong with my camera. I don't know why. Didn't have time to fix it. But the important person, the star of the show, Brett, is here. So this is a very exciting episode because Brett, last time we had an interview, people really loved the interview. I mean, people really loved the conversation, the chemistry between us. So this was awesome, right? And Brett, welcome back, man. How are you feeling?
I'm great, and thanks a lot for having me. One of
That's
my
my
favorite things to do in the entire, internet marketing realm is to be able to talk to people and share with them, things that I've learned, and just be able to connect with other people because I think that's really where the value lies in all the stuff that we do.
Definitely, definitely, man. And I also love talking to people. That's why I'm doing those interviews. And so I want to talk about Sociamatic. Now, here's the thing, man. I love the software. I love supporting your softwares, your launches. You guys are really good when it comes to both conversions and delivery, right? But I saw this right on the JV page. I saw the headline. Automated software gets you leads, sales, buyers, and demand. 100% free traffic. Lots of very strong. Hype. So I'm really excited for this and I want to know exactly how it works. So please tell me about Sociamatic. What makes it unique? Why is it needed right now?
Sure. Well, I'll explain sort of what led me to that first, and then I'll get into a little bit of the details. So
Mhm.
basically what we're looking at is Sociamatic allows you, if you've been online at any time at all and you do anything on social media, you've seen those viral quotes.
Yeah.
It has like a beautiful image background and it's got some cool quote that when you look at it, it makes you think about it. There's those get shared, those get interacted with, they get liked, favorited, more than just about anything else right now. And the problem though is if you've ever tried to make them, if you try to do it yourself, I mean, if you have some design skill, you could do it in Photoshop, but it's going to take you a while, and that's just to make one. And then if you're going to outsource it, you got to spend the money in order to be able to get people to create them, and then you still have to go post them or you got to
Yeah.
pay somebody to do that too. And so the challenge is how do you sort of get in on that craze? Creating content is not easy for most people, but everybody loves a good quote. It's consumable, it's easy to read, it gets an emotional response, and it gets interaction. So it makes a lot of sense to be involved in that. But it's really difficult because it's either going to take you a lot of time or it's going to take you a lot of money. And so the idea of Sociamatic is we sort of put it all under one roof where we have a massive quote database and we have professional quality photos and images and professionally approved designer fonts. And basically, what Sociamatic is going to do for you in just a few clicks, it's going to create a series of quotes for you automatically, and it's going to post them for you to your social media accounts. So the awesome thing about that is now you could put on autopilot something that would have taken a lot of time or money, and that's going to increase engagement with everybody in the social media space. So you're going to get more views on your content. You're going to stop people when they're scrolling through because they're going to see this beautiful image with a thought provoking quote. They're going to be much more likely to share that content, much more likely to view that content, and also more likely to click on that content. So the great thing about it is you can embed any link that you want, an affiliate offer, your own website, blog, e-commerce, whatever you want to do. So you're getting massive social engagement and you're also able to drive traffic anywhere you want with it.
Awesome. Okay, so basically this taps into this quotes thingy going on. Now, obviously, this is very powerful in terms of quotes. I do agree that it's really hard to make quotes. I have found and shared some quotes that were, they went viral really crazy, in crazy ways on my social media, on my Facebook account and everything. But it's really hard when I wanted to create something on my own. It was fairly complicated. There was some creator online, but the background didn't fit and it just didn't sound good. And this one basically goes ahead and does it all in a few clicks plus shares and everything. Now, uh, how I want to know, okay, how can someone benefit from it when it comes to monetization?
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously traffic is one piece of the puzzle, but then you've got to be able to do something to make money as well. What's
Yeah.
great about Sociamatic is it allows you to tag each of your quotes with any URL you want. So if you are promoting an affiliate offer, for example, you could put the affiliate link in there. If you have your own product to promote, you can put that link in there. So every time somebody clicks on it, they're going to go through to your offer, your page, whatever it is you want. And it even has a spinning capability where you could put in multiple offers in one campaign. So let's say that you had a couple of different affiliate offers and you wanted to test them. You don't know which one's going to convert the best. You could
Hmm.
put 2 or 3 different links in there. And then as your software posts for you, it will rotate those links so you can actually see what offers are going to convert the best.
Awesome. So this also spins. Okay. This sounds even. This is on the front end, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So let's go over the features. Basically, I want to know how it works.
Sure. Well, you can see if you get a chance to take a look at the demo, you can see that I was actually able to create a quote campaign, and I think it was 21 seconds or less. So that's about how long it takes. You don't need to come with any content. You don't need quotes. You don't need images. You don't need fonts, and you don't need to be a designer. Basically, what happens is you log into the software. It's all cloud-based, so there's nothing to download. There's nothing to install. There's no compatibility issues. It works on every platform. So you log into the software, and then you just go into the campaign creator, and you click on the quote campaign. So it opens up a window, and basically what you're able to do is choose a category. So if there's a particular type of category of quotes, like business quotes or motivation quotes or things like that, you could choose that. And then you could choose the number of quotes that you wanted to generate for you. You could choose the fonts, or you could have it randomize the fonts.
Mhm.
It will choose random background images. And then you could actually even upload your own logo, which will be watermarked over all of the quotes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the features I was very excited about, because what that allows you to do is it allows you to build your brand. If you have a logo or you have some sort of image that you want to watermark on all of these, every time that gets shared, not only on your own social network when you're viewing it and people in your circle are viewing it, but every time that gets shared, that logo is watermarked right on there. So every person in the entire chain that ever sees that will see your brand and be connected to your brand. And obviously they've got your link on there as well. And so you're going to get those clicks going through to your offers. And so once you've set the settings that you want for your campaign, and by the way, it also works with tags. So let's say you wanted particular quotes by, whatever, some famous person, say Shakespeare. If
Mhm.
there are Shakespeare quotes in the database, you just start typing in the tags, it auto completes and shows you, just like Google does in the search, which tags are available. You can select those, and all of those tags are content that either appears in the author name or in the quote content itself in the database. So you could really fine tune the quotes that you're creating. And then you basically just click the button. Now, here's the other thing that's really cool. One of the concerns that I had was I was like, okay, this is great, but I care about the people that follow me. So if I'm having this software create automatic quotes for me, what happens if it creates a quote I don't like? What happens if it creates a quote I don't agree with? Or if there's something that maybe one of the images doesn't look good? The great thing about this is when you create a campaign, there's a preview link where you can click it and it will show you a preview of all the quotes that are going to go out, and it'll show you when they're going to go out. So
Mhm.
you can delete any of them if you don't want them to go out. You can turn off one particular service. Say you're going to share it on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you don't want this on LinkedIn, you just toggle that one off, and that one will only post to the other 3 services. All the rest of them will post to all of them. And so you have absolute control, and it's all point and click simple.
That's awesome. That sounds awesome. So what social media networks does it, work with?
It's linked with Twitter, it's linked with Facebook, it's linked with LinkedIn and Pinterest.
Okay, it's a good selection.
But
Uh,
let me share one other thing that's really important also.
yeah.
The other aspect of this that's really important is you can actually post these quotes anywhere you want. If you want to put them on your blog, if you want to put them on an e-commerce site, if you want to put them on, Instagram or whatever other networks that you belong to, you can download any one of them in one click and upload it anywhere you want. So you're not limited to just those four services. You can actually post the quotes anywhere you want.
I just thought about it. I saw this. This was, I have an ecom business, and when it comes to ecom, I'm doing a lot of research. Always researching offers, competitors, all that stuff. So one thing I noticed is that some of these pages started promoting their products in a way that they post either a video or a quote, which goes viral really fast on their ads. They actually drive ads to a quote, which sounds
Yeah.
insane at first, and but it works because otherwise they wouldn't have kept driving all that money and traffic into those quotes. This means this works. This means you guys are actually onto something that works, and yours it just makes the whole process easier. So people who are doing ecom should not think that, hey, this is not for me. I think this is actually for you. You should try this out, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are blind to just blatant product offers. If all you're going to do is put up an image of a product and say buy this, they're kind of blind to that, and they kind of know I could just go to Amazon and do this or whatever. So you need something that's more engaging, and that's the
Agree.
reason that quotes have become so popular. If you look, you'll see that there are marketers in all realms using this kind of technology, whether it is the small mom and pop business that's trying to use it, the independent marketer that's working out of their house, or Fortune 500 companies. Everyone's looking for, how do I engage my audience so they're not just tuning me out?
Yes, definitely agreed. This really helps engagement. And I noticed those pages, and I noticed, at first I was looking, I was like, why are they doing it? But you see, let's say you see 5,000 shares to a page which has only 30,000 likes. This means those are not necessarily or all organic shares. This means they drove traffic through paid traffic to the page, to the post. This post went viral, and they have actually a link to an actual product, physical product in their Shopify store or whatever, link there. So they're actually using it to sell or to build their list. So many things you can do with this. So I would not dismiss it, and I at first definitely dismissed it. That's why I showed interest in your offer. I absolutely love that you are tapping into something modern and necessary. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's great. And the other thing is, I didn't mention this, but you can actually create custom ones as well. There's a quote designer inside the software right in the front end. So if you can always create automated campaigns and run them in minutes, seconds even. But if you had something specific in mind and you said, you know what, I really love this one quote, and I wanted to create my own design with it, and I wanted to pick my own font, and I wanted to pick my own background, we built the designer right into the software. You don't need any design skills at all. You just click the background, or you can upload your own, click the background that you want to use. It loads it onto the canvas, and you just put in the text you want, choose the font that you want, and you can apply a bunch of effects to it. There's a ton of different things that you can do to make those professional quotes. That in and of itself, by the way, could have been the software, and it would have been very valuable to a lot of people. But that we kind of threw in as a bonus, because we said, you know what, there are going to be some people that want to create their own unique quotes, and they want to make them look the way they want them to look. And so
Mhm.
let's put that in there also.
Awesome. That sounds really awesome. And okay, so those are the features of Socimattic. That's what we covered. Now, when it comes to the front end, what we spoke about. By the way, for anyone who's wondering what the front end is, this means that this is actually what you pay for before you buy the upsells. The product they're selling on the sales page, the actual Socimattic. Very often when you buy a product, there's going to be a series of upsells, which we're going to talk about. They're usually recommendations and just upgrades make the product better. But front end is actually all you get when you make that one purchase at the beginning. And Brett, is everything we spoke about so far is actually in the front end?
Yes, it is. Yes, you don't need any upgrades in order to use the software. They just give you super powered, features to really take it to another level. But all the stuff that we've talked about so far is all in the front end.
Awesome. And at what price?
Well, we're going to be running an early bird. The retail price is going to be significantly higher, but
Mhm.
during the launch phase, we're going to run an early bird special where we're going to freeze the price at a huge discount for the first 3 hours, and you'll be able to get in for. Do you want me to share it?
Definitely.
All right, you'll be able to get in for just $27. It's a $47 product. You'll be able to get in for just 27. So it's a huge, huge discount, and it's frozen for those 3 hours. After that, price starts going up. And so the best time to get in is early, so you lock in the best possible value.
Okay, what's going to be the highest price during the launch?
During the launch, it'll go, it may go all the way to 47. We'll be raising the price starting 3 hours after the launch, and it will go up gradually, and it will go all the way to the retail price. If it hasn't hit retail by the end of the launch, it will go to retail as soon as the launch ends.
Okay, awesome. That's a great price. 27. I was not expecting it. Actually, I thought it's going to be more. No, it's a good
Well,
price. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we had considered that, but we decided that it would do the most good for the most people if we kept the price low and made it very accessible for everybody.
Yeah, and these offers that are, jam-packed with value usually also sell well and the word spreads. Especially in these types of, an interview when you actually say that this is really a key for someone who is looking to buy if they get enough value because, for example, I saw products out there released which you could actually if you've done your research, you could find a slightly worse but just a little bit free version on Google. Which, and then they charge $47. Then you feel like, hey, there's not value there, and they get refunds, and people complain, and the reputation is going down. So yours is definitely not that type. And even if it was, it's just $27 and all these features that you can't find anywhere. I absolutely love it, man. Good job on
That's
this.
awesome. Yeah, this is custom software. I know because I oversaw the development myself, and I can
Mhm.
tell you that it took 3.5 months to create it and several
Mhm.
$1,000s. So this is not shareware.
Awesome. Yeah, you wouldn't have spent several $1,000s in 3.5 months for something that could be found for free,
Right.
right? It makes no sense from not from a customer's point, but also from your point as a developer, as a business person. Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah. So $27 front end. That's a great price. And when are you going live?
We are going live February 19th at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay, awesome. So good time, good everything. Everything is awesome. So any additional stuff that they get on the front end?
On the front end, we're working on a couple of bonuses to throw in there. My partner's actually finalizing that stuff, so
Mhm.
we'll keep everybody in suspense for that right now.
No, that's okay. I'm going to provide my own bonuses for anyone who's interested in, an actual demo of the product, me going through the product, showing you how it works, my bonuses, all that stuff, my opinion, which is really important in my reviews. You can find it below. If you're watching on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. If you're watching on my bonus page, it's going to be right here, somewhere in the page. So, Brett, now I want to talk about the upsells, the upgrades.
Sure.
They're really important to me because I know you have several. You don't have just one or two. You have more. So I want to know what they are, what they do, and how do they actually make the front end better.
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, the front end is totally ready to rock and roll. But if you really want to take your results to the next level, that's why we built in some of these additional improvements and upgrades. So one of the upgrades is a much larger quote database and a much larger image database. So you're getting the front end allows you up to, I think, 1 million different possible unique quote combinations.
Hmm.
Now, when you go to the first upgrade, you're looking at over 5 million combinations, hundreds and hundreds of more backgrounds. In addition to that, cloud storage for your designs and a bunch of additional designer fonts. It ends up being millions and millions of different possibilities in terms of different quotes that are 100% unique and not like anybody else's. So you get a much wider array of the quotes, backgrounds, images, fonts, cloud storage, and things like that. You also get multi-profile access. Now, why this is significant is when you sign up and you create your account, you are going to link your social media accounts, and then you're going to be able to post to them. Well, by default, you're getting one profile. So that means you could do one Facebook account, one Twitter account, and so on. When you upgrade, you can get multiple accounts. So say you have 3 Twitter accounts, say you have 3 Facebook accounts, that's fine. You can connect them all. And you could do them in different profiles, which means you could post different things to your different profiles. If you have 5 different profiles and 5 niches, you could promote different things to each different niche and do it all really, really easily. So that is one of the upgrades. We also have, in addition to that, one of the great things of if you've been online and you've been scrolling through any of your social media profiles, one of the things that stops you dead in your tracks is animation, is motion, right? So
Hmm.
any static image, if it looks great, will catch your attention. But when you're scrolling through and it's a bunch of static stuff and then all of a sudden something's moving, you can't help but look at it. So we created an animated quote system where it actually has an animated background. And we spent a lot of time tweaking and perfecting this because here's the significant thing that you may or may not know. If you try to post an animated post to social media and the file size is too large or the dimensions are too big, it doesn't animate. It gives you a button to push to animate it, but if people are scrolling through, it's not animated. We perfected it. So we have just the right image size, just the right dimensions. So it's auto animated. When people go and they see those posts online, they're moving while they're scrolling through the timeline, which has a massive, hugely like drawing in effect of grabbing attention and everything else. So you have an animated quote creator, and in addition to animated campaigns, a custom animated quote creator. So you can make custom quotes with the animated backgrounds as well.
Hmm.
So that is another upgrade. And
How much?
then
How
what's
much
that?
the? How much does this one and the previous one you told me about cost?
We're finalizing the prices on those, but they will all be cost effective for people to be able to get in and use them and get, obviously a great return on their investment. So we're still finalizing the actual price structure for the rest of the funnel. But in terms of the features and benefits, you have those options. Then, do you want me to continue to reveal a little more?
Definitely. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Then this is one of the things that was one of my personal favorites. One of the things that I love is I love trivia. I love quizzes.
Hmm.
So when you scroll and you see one of those quizzes, you, you know, you got to answer it. You got to click it. You got to answer it because you want to see if you're right. You want to see if you got the right answer. And
Very
so
often. Yeah.
one of the things that we built in one of the upgrades is both a trivia or quiz creator and a facts creator. And so what these are is these expand beyond the realm of just quotes. They allow you to post single question quizzes from popular categories like pop culture, movies, TV, sports, these kinds of things. And they post them with the ability for the person to click it and answer it. And when they click to answer it, you can send them to any URL you want. So what's great is the software will tell them whether they're right or wrong, and then it will allow you to send them to any URL you want. So you can actually get somebody to answer your quizzes, share your quizzes, everyone's answering it. And when they click to answer it, it's telling them whether they're right or wrong, and then it's sending them wherever you want them to go. So you can send all that viral traffic to your URLs. Facts campaigns are similar in the sense that there are all these amazing facts, like 1 in 10,000 babies is born with a full set of teeth, things like that. They're just cool facts that when you see it, you're like, man, that's really cool. I got to share that. You know, there are more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand on every beach in the entire world combined. Stuff like that, that just when you see it, it just grabs you because you're like, no way, that's so cool. And it forces you to want to share it. It forces you to want to engage. You can watermark those things with your logo. You can put your own URLs in those. So in all of that stuff, it's all traffic that you're able to drive wherever you want it to go. And then the last thing I'll share about it right now is that we have an agency upgrade where you can actually be the social media manager for clients. So think of harnessing all this power. You could charge people a monthly fee. You could charge them any way you want. It's literally taking you seconds to create this stuff. And they wouldn't know whether you were spending hours doing graphic design and copywriting and everything else because they have no idea that you're using the software to do it. You could create campaigns for clients, attach their social media accounts, automatically post for them, and you can even send them a preview link before their campaigns run to get their approval to make sure they're happy with the designs and then run it for them. And so all of those different features, all those different benefits and upgrades are things that we wanted to include to really allow you to take it to the next level, to not only build your own traffic, your own social media influence, but also even do it as a business and make money by doing it for other people as well.
Yeah, and I thought about it. The biggest issue, the biggest objection is going to be here for buyers, in my opinion, is the actual the process of convincing a client that they need your services. What would you recommend?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, if a client has been online at all, if they're not living in the Stone Ages, they've seen these quotes. They know how powerful these are. If you go on weather.com, right, a hugely popular site because you can get weather anywhere in the world, scroll down to the bottom and take a look. What do they have? They have a bunch of little thumbnail images with catchy headlines for what? To get you to click it. When you click it, it takes you to some pop culture site that's trying to drive traffic. If you look at any of even Fortune 500 companies and even big news outlets now, if you scroll on their sites, they're using a lot more inline content ads. And what I mean by inline, if you're not familiar with the idea, is instead of it looking like an ad, it looks like it's part of the content. And that's exactly what quotes do, because it doesn't look like you're advertising anything. It doesn't look like you're out there trying to pitch something. You're just trying to grab attention because people are so busy that they're not able to do it. There are companies that are actually outsourcing this right now. They're paying people to do this. They're hiring social media managers to create these things and post them online because everybody wants to build their brand. Everybody wants to build their traffic and their exposure. So the thing that I would say is to any client is, well, how is your online traffic going? Do you have all the traffic that you want? Are you getting all the exposure, getting all the clicks, getting all the sales, building your brand the way that you want online? Because for 99% of the people, the answer is going to be, no, or I don't know. And, so did you consider, instead of just jamming ads down people's throat where they're not really interested in that, engaging people first and then showing them what you have to offer?
And this is awesome because of your software is so simple that you can actually go ahead to those clients, tell them what you just said and say, you know what, I'll throw in a free sample for you, no charge, right? And for him, it will be like, hey, that's a great business move. I'm going to try it out. And for you, it's just a few seconds work,
Exactly. Yeah, you could show them in advance before they pay you a nickel.
Yeah, and then they're gonna hire your services and obviously convert them better. Okay, that sounds awesome. And prices, obviously, you still do not know, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just finalizing stuff on the rest of the funnel. We'll have that stuff ironed out really soon.
Okay,
But
that
but the point is, we've made everything in line. We made everything affordable, and it's all discounted at the launch time. Everything will go to retail price when it's over. But the idea is, when we launch it to our friends, when we launch it to our friends, subscribers, and everybody else, the idea is to let everybody sort of on the inside in and do it at a very cost effective way where they can use it and they can see a return on their investment, and then we'll worry about the retail side of it later.
hmm Okay. Awesome, man. Really sounds awesome. The funnel, the software, very refreshing. And I love that it taps into something that is very modern. So awesome. Great stuff, man. And I guess we're pretty much at the end of this interview. People know exactly what they're getting. And for anyone who's interested, once again, in the bonuses and actually the OTO prices, don't worry, I'm going to mention them in my review anyway. So no worries there. Brett, before we wrap this up, first off, thank you so much for coming and talking and being very interesting. It's
Thanks for
awesome.
having me as always. Yeah.
And the second thing, before we wrap this up, anything you want to say to people? Any piece of advice, something you believe in, something valuable you can give?
I could give you three quick pieces of advice. These are three lessons that I learned over my 10, 11-year marketing career here. When I got started, it was school of hard knocks. I didn't have connections. I didn't have partners. I didn't have friends in the business. And I actually didn't have a big budget either to be able to do stuff. So I sort of learned things the hard way. And I wish I knew then what I know now. So the first thing that I would say is be passionate about whatever it is you're doing. Don't chase money. Do something that you love to do, and the rest of it will come from there. So stick with your passion. That's the easiest way to do it. Somebody's passionate about everything. So if you're doing it for just the money and somebody else is passionate about it, you're going to have a hard time competing because they're jumping out of bed in the morning excited and you're dreading it. So focus on something you're really passionate about. The second thing that I would say is, stay focused. Don't jump around from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another, because you can never build enough momentum that way. Stay focused, decide what you want to do, focus on it and follow through. And then the third thing, and this was my biggest problem, the thing that took me the longest to learn, is use leverage. It's impossible to do everything yourself. So use software, use tools that automate and simplify, outsource if you can, or have the means or need to.
Have
Anything
partners.
that you could do to leverage what you're doing will allow you to get to where you're going a lot faster. So those are three things that I've picked up over the years, and I stick with those principles in every single thing that I do.
I love it. Three great advices, great tips. And as you said, like you said about leverage, also, you have the partner, which is, he's taking care of the marketing and the positioning and stuff like that. So this really helps you, frees your time and energy to focus on product development, delivery, doing these interviews and all those things. So, that's amazing advice. And I agree 100% with you, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. I learned it the hard way. So,
Yeah.
if I can save you from making a few mistakes, fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming once again. And thank you, everyone, for watching this. I'm going to wrap this up. Bye-bye, everyone.